last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry. Yes, we're back here on another letdown. My name is Zach, and this is the show where we hang out at the end of a long week and work on the ridiculous and increasing pile of miniatures that we've accumulated and continue to accumulate because 3D printing exists. There's an old saying that says that if a miniatures painter, wow, I haven't done this in a while, ever runs out of projects to paint, he or she will perish. So we're just trying to stave off death for as long as we possibly can. Joining me on the line, as always, is my good buddy, my perennial painting partner, and our resident monkey handler. It's Grundy Gambit. How's it going, man?
It is going great. Glad to be back.
Me too. It's been four months and change since my daughter was born, and we had to take the show offline temporarily, but she's finally sleeping through the night, and man, I couldn't be happier. I just like the only thing I could do while she was, in her infancy and basically needed to be held all the time was print. So I just printed and printed and printed and printed, and I've got a ton of stuff, mostly on the FDM printer because the resin printer does stink really bad. But if she was either elsewhere or whatever, I did print a bunch on the resin printer as well. So I'll get into that in just a moment. But as with all the shows that we host here on the Another Letdown Media channel, and This Is Difficult podcast network at large, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible. So any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So let's get into it. Here we go. That's the button. And there it is. We're off and running. Okay, right off the bat, I can show that one of the miniatures that I 3D printed, we're going all the way back to the beginning of the show here. This is General Rom from Gears of War. I found an STL for him, and I found actually all the minis that the game literally tells you, this is a proxy, like use this other mini. And I'm like, no, I can just make ones that work. So I scaled them down, plopped him down on a really badly FDM printed Blood Omen base, but it's there. And so he's coming to the stream very soon as I can get him primed. Also, I've got Phoenix over here. I think she's been printed for quite a while. Excited to get her going at some point. And behind the green screen, I've got a myriad of other characters, including the Fantastic Four, that I'm very excited about. But I'm also extraordinarily excited about, and this is one of my big FDM projects. You can see actually today's project's kicking around on the side here, but is this guy. I don't know how well he's going to fit on the camera, but we're going to try. This is Quick Stop from the Clerks movies. And I am very excited to. I got to get an airbrush, I think.
Yeah, an airbrush is definitely going to make that a lot easier.
Yep, and I've also got that Titan that I posted to Discord. It's a Warhammer 40,000 Warhound Titan that I am eventually going to paint, but definitely not on stream because it's absolutely colossal. It definitely doesn't fit under my document camera. Tonight, on the other hand, we have Solomon Grundy for Gotham City Chronicles. Not super, as much as I am a giant Batman fan, I'm not super familiar with the Solomon Grundy stuff, so we'll see what happens. And it looks like you've got say again.
He was born on a Monday.
That's what I hear. And he died on a Sunday? Maybe. I don't know.
Buried him today.
Buried on Sunday, that's right. All right. We're hydrated. Let's paint. Boy, it's been a while since I've done this. And I see you've got my boy Dick Grayson over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
From Batman the Animated Series, got Robin.
Yeah. Now that Kickstarter just recently shipped, right? Like it's.
I've actually been sitting on this since Christmas last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has my perception of time is all manner of whacked out. I'll be perfectly honest with you. So I'm just trying to focus my camera here so it is actually visible and I can see what I'm doing. I decided to angle it a little bit so it's a little easier on me. Does this actually work if I zoom out? No, it really doesn't. Okay. Ooh, maybe it does. No, we'll go zoomed in. For now, we'll see what happens. All right, so Solomon Grundy is really a bunch of shades of like black blue. I'm gonna just use a dark blue and a Nuln Oil, I think, to get him going where I want. But in the interest of starting with lighter colors, let's go right to the gray seer here. Hi, RPD. How are you? Glad you're able to join us. I'm already spilling paint. This is a good place to start. So what have you been up to, my friend?
A whole lot of nothing, really. Just kind of... I've been playing Gotham Knights. I've been playing some Arkham LCG. We've been doing Marvel Champions.
Yeah, that's been really great. I wish... I mean, as Alex and I always say, I want to play Arkham, but unfortunately it's... Oh, there's Kirk! RPD says he's doing great. He's got to change his dumb Boxing Day plans. Uh-oh. From what to what? But Marvel Champions does scratch that sort of living card game cooperative itch.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like Marvel Champions is kind of this like bastard love child of Sentinels and Arkham.
That is what it feels like, quite honestly. It's good. Like, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of fun. But it does, like, it borrows so heavily from two properties that you and I are both very intimately connected with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's difficult to wrap your head around sometimes. All right, well, that was easy. Start there. Yeah, it's got like a pale blue skin, so let's do that next. Got an idea for this, actually. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Captain Kirk. Very glad to hear that. Okay, so I need well, actually, I might just do some mixing here. Grab Celestra Gray, and I mean, ideally, it's this Fenrisian Gray, right, for his skin. Oh, by the way, I am so done with Citadel.
Oh yeah.
My goodness. I wonder if I can recreate that. I do like their sort of, base ink layer system. It's cool and all, but it's so expensive and there's so many cheaper options. And I think course, I don't know where to go from here, you know? I have all these. Tonight I'm bringing back character building for something I'm shocked and appalled none of us have done in several years we've had these. Uh-oh. There's a sentence, RPD. What are you doing? Oh my. Broody, are you seeing this?
No, what?
He's building Santa.
That's amazing.
That's fantastic. Oh, Jesus. This gone off. Yep, sure has. Awesome. I think we're going to be finding a lot of that tonight. This paint has gone off.
Yeah, I know. I had a bunch of mine that, like, I really needed to shake up really well.
Yep. Celestra Gray has been 187. What's this? Wraithbone. I do have a brand new pot of Bugman's Glow, although that seems to be 187 also. Good God. Who is this in the suit? This is Solomon Grundy from Batman Gotham City Chronicles. I'm trying to recreate this Fenrisian. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to use the layer as a base. That's the one. Truly, it wasn't expecting that most. It wasn't expecting the unexpected, but it sure expected him. The very same, Captain Kirk, the very same. Yep, I like that. That's a good color. Just gonna have to do multiple coats, I think. I'm okay with it. So I can't remember, Mike. Did we, had you already gone to Disney before we paused the stream, or was that during the hiatus?
I think that was during the hiatus.
I was living
Or
like
right before. Yeah, because the hiatus was like in August, and I went to
That's
Disney
right.
in September.
Okay, so yeah. So we haven't talked about that. Tell
No.
the fine people about your experience at Galactic Star Cruiser.
Oh boy, it was quite an experience. I don't even know where to begin.
Well, the beginning seems like a good place to start.
Yeah, so I hopped off the taxi into the like boarding shuttle, and like from then on, it was completely pretty much everyone there is an actor that is there to help you and assist and part of the story.
My big question, right? So at the end of the day, it's a Disney vacation, right?
Yeah.
How do you justify, or how do they work in like a day at Magic Kingdom when you're staying on the Star Cruiser?
They don't. The only park you go to is the Galaxy's Edge.
But isn't Galaxy's Edge connected to the rest of Disney Hollywood Studios?
It is, and you can theoretically like leave that section of the park and go to the Disney Hollywood Studios. But that's the only one you can get to, essentially.
Okay, so then I guess that begs the question, like, how long is the Star Cruiser stay?
So day one started at 1:00
p.m.
And that was like lunch buffet was available, and then it was just explore and interact with all of the actors and characters.
within the
then
Star Cruiser
within
setting.
the Star Cruiser.
Okay.
Then the second day was your planetary excursion to Black Post Outspire. Black Outpost. Black
Black
Spire
Spire
Outpost.
Outpost. Yep.
There you go. I can speak.
Yep. Well, it's been a while. Speaking is difficult.
Yeah.
Insert defunct land fast pass document. Yeah. No, absolutely. Like RPD, I will talk about that in just a minute. Keep going.
And during that day, you have essentially from 8 o'clock. They let you into the park an hour before everyone else, including other resort customers that usually have earlier access.
The priority access. Yep.
You get
like double secret
more
priority access.
But your stay on Batu goes from 8 to the last shuttle back. Not Batu. I don't know why I said Batu.
Galactic Star Cruiser. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. You go back to the Star Cruiser at 4 o'clock is the last shuttle back.
Okay. So it's really just a 1 day thing.
Yeah.
Is there enough to do within Galaxy's Edge to justify that?
Yes.
So do they like enhance the experience? Like there must be more to it.
So part of the missions and stuff you do, like
Oh, that's right. There's like mission content.
Yeah, depending on who you interact with, like you're part of the story, and so like I worked with the more scum and villainy type characters,
as I would.
And we were hired essentially by them to meet with Hondo and Oka to do a heist to steal fuel for the Resistance.
Interesting.
As well as get some for ourselves and make profit off of it. And so we were sent with a data pad, aka your cell phone, which has a special app on it. And if you don't have a cell phone for young children or whatever, or like Casey has a work phone that she couldn't download the app on, they just gave iPhones to you.
Oh wow.
That were designed and with the app installed and everything. So we go, and then we rode the Smuggler's Run ride, which is part of the story plot. Is Hondo is getting you to pilot the Millennium Falcon and steal fuel, whatever they call it, from Solo.
Okay, interesting. So, I mean, you'll excuse my ignorance, but from an outside perspective, it seems like a giant, like, we already have this stuff, let's take advantage of it move. Which is fine. Like, that's not a complaint, it's just an observation. So, I don't know. To me, what's really fascinating to me, and has always been about Disney, is everybody goes to that park, or to the Disney parks. Everybody who goes to the Disney parks approaches it from a different perspective. Like you, as a giant Star Wars fan, this experience very clearly resonated with you, right?
Yeah.
Where for me, as a giant, like, Disney parks fan and theme parks fan, all I want to know is how all that stuff works. So the immersive plot stuff doesn't speak to me in the same way that it does you, which I truly think is a giant credit to Disney, that they have something for absolutely everybody there. And when RPD mentioned insert defunct land fast pass documentary, like, I can see Galactic Star Cruiser going the way of, well, very quickly disappearing, because the cost to run it and to maintain it is astronomical. I mean, basically prohibitive for anybody.
People complain about it being expensive, and yes, it's expensive, but with the amount of work and effort and everything that goes into it, like it is.
It has to
worth
be.
it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I also think that they're going to say, especially with moving back from Chapek to Iger, they're going to see that as a money pit. Like it's just not worth the expenditure. You can reallocate those funds somewhere else. One of the things he said was Disney parks are going to cease renovation.
What?
So yeah, no more park renovations until they can control the price, because the price for an average family these days cannot go to Disney. It is prohibitive. So they need to fix that. Obviously, the post Walt Disney intention of Disney parks is for everybody to be there and for people to actually be able to get there. I don't profess to know what the heck Disney himself was thinking. He was a maniac, but right now they've strayed so far from that basically only the elite can get there without spending, without going into debt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not fair. So he announced to investors, it requires more studying than your average college degree. I assume you mean my study of Disney parks, because yes, that is true. I've spent way more hours studying Disney parks than I did for my degree. If there's a degree in fast passology, I should have it. Having only been to Disney parks once in my life. Hey, Adam. That's all right, man. Oh no! What happened? Oh, gross. That has happened to me way too many times. I don't really know what's going on with this mini. Can't really see the lines very well. He's kind of hulkish. Anyway, so yeah, I'm interested to see what happens to things like Galaxy's Edge as Disney parks continue to evolve, because it is very cool. Like I can acknowledge that without hesitation. It is very, very cool.
Like I said, like I tried to do as much as I can, and there was still stuff that I couldn't do at the Galactic Star Cruiser. Like I said, it's like a choose your own adventure. So there are story hooks and plot hooks that I just missed because I was doing other things.
Right, and that. I mean, the design of that is, of course, to get people back to do it again. And once again, you run into this is just prohibitively expensive to do again situation.
Yeah.
Which is really working against the point. But that's really cool. So after your Star Cruiser experience, where did you end up staying?
I actually stayed at the Polynesian before the Star Cruiser.
Oh, okay.
And hit up all of the other parks before.
Right on. So besides Disney Hollywood Studios, what was your favorite?
The new Guardians ride at Epcot was outstanding.
I've heard good things about that one. I can't wait to ride that one.
So fun.
So one of the this is actually a fun little tangent. One of the baby shower gifts that we received was from my friend Patty, who is an annual pass holder, and she and her dad have accrued so many points that she's just like giving 5-night stays away to people, with the stipulation that she gets to come too.
Mhm.
So when Kara is big enough, we will all go to Disney for a few days, and I am so excited to go back to Epcot. It is without a doubt my favorite. I mean, I like all of them, but oh, it's bad enough you got to reprint, Adam. That sucks, dude. So now that's and the Guardians ride. If I'm understanding correctly, oh, that's true. We do RPD. It's tied to MCU ish.
Yes, it had like the pre like ride shows and the show part and everything has like all of the actors and stuff back. Although yeah, it feels like the guy they got for Star Lord isn't actually Chris Pratt. He's just like a lookalike stunt double type thing.
Yeah,
No, something just felt off. I don't know. Maybe it was Chris Pratt, but
but not believably.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I did see the Guardians Holiday Special.
That was great.
It was a lot of fun. Like, I didn't expect it to be. I honestly expected it to be a pile of crap. But it really, like, it shows James Gunn's level of concern for the things he's created. And I'm excited to see him bring that to the DCEU. Like, I have not been the biggest fan of the DCEU. I generally just kind of wrote it off. Even the ones that are good have not been like fantastic in my book. Though granted, I still have yet to see quite a few of them, just because of timing. I like that they've named him sort of the Kevin Feige of DC. I think that's a good move. He's a director that oftentimes doesn't get the faith he deserves. He has vision, he has drive, he has talent that sticks with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that a lot of directors don't have these days. They're just kind of like corporate machine, work for get the thing done and move on to the next thing. I spent the week sort of off Marvel DC stuff, and I was digging back into Batgirl's trending because people are asking James Gunn to release it. I would like to see that. But I spent the week revisiting some of my favorite favorite films of all time. The Ocean's 11 trilogy.
Yeah.
And boy, there was a lot of good stuff in all three of those movies. Like, say what you will about Ocean's 13 or Ocean's 12, it was kind of crap, but it's still by a lot of metrics a decent movie, a decent entertainment experience, I should say. And I'm gonna need black. Oh, wait a minute. I have that. Where is that one? Is it Corvus Black? No, okay, so I still need to mix it with the Night Lord's Blue. The seemingly intentional obliviousness of the financials of that is irritating. Yeah, right? Like, it just... I don't know what to think on that one, Adam. Like, it's one more instance of people seeing what they want to see and only what they want to see out of it.
I mean, people said the Snyder Cut didn't exist and it was never coming out also.
It's true. But the point, I think it would constitute fraud. How so?
Oh, yeah, because they did it as a tax write-off of some kind.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
And as part of that, I think it said that they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It seems scummy, I'll be honest, but like, if you know the movie's not going to work, I guess it does make it the right call. As long as you still pay the actors, you know. Oh. Once again, I'm forgetting to turn the light on. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. So I've mixed up sort of this blue-gray abomination color here. It's about a 60-40 mix of Corvus Black and Night Lord's Blue. Anyway, so before we started talking Disney, and maybe we'll come back to that, but I'm glad you had a good time, I guess is the last thing I want to say on that. But so I mentioned that I'm pretty much done with Citadel paint, but I just don't know where to go from here. There's a part of me that just wants to buy the Army Painter Disaster Collection and move on. But, like, Vallejo makes really good stuff too, and I like a lot of their stuff. I wish I had more time away from the kid so I could like go out and poke around and see what's available nearby. Yeah, see that's what I was wondering, Adam, is the unionness of the whole thing. And you're right, the Screen Actors Guild would have a conniption if the actors didn't get paid. So yeah. Well, Vallejo's Express Paints line is what I've been looking at, because I similarly have a bunch of just idiots to do, and we all saw how long it took me to do the mooks for Gotham City Chronicles. I'd rather not go through all that again for Marvel Zombies. Which, incidentally, I'm very excited about. Oh, good old Thug with Gun, yeah. Thugs, cops, Nazis, ninjas. That line, like, out of context, that line is... It's funny. Out of context, that line is incredibly funny, but in the context of a miniatures game centered around, well, quite frankly, beating up thugs, cops, Nazis, ninjas. Ugh. Not friendly for mixing. This is what I hate about Citadel right here. I'm sitting here trying to mix colors because I've run out of my mix. I basically have to just contaminate whatever I'm working on. There we go. Hopefully that's enough to finish him. Because I don't have dropper bottles. I've contemplated just getting a bunch of blank dropper bottles, but that seems like a waste of time too. Another big problem is Citadel makes paints for Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah.
They don't even really make paints for Warhammer Fantasy. So the fantasy minis end up looking like Space Marines. And here we are painting comic book characters. Sorry, but that's a different look. Yeah. And Citadel's like, oh, you don't have to mix any colors. I'm like, bull hockey, you don't. Any artist worth their salt is going to be mixing colors almost immediately. It took me quite a long time to realize that. Oh, that's stupid. This is going to be a really quick paint job, I think. What color is his eyes? Adam, what color are Solomon Grundy's eyes? Yes, absolutely. Like, yeah. Like I said, they make paints for Warhammer 40,000. If you're painting Dark Angels, you're all set. If you're painting Blood Angels, you're all set. If you're painting Space Wolves, you're all set. But yellow? Okay, that's what I thought. That's what my reference image is telling me too. I think I'm going to use... I think it'd be kind of fun to use the fluorescent paints for this. For his eyes. But I'm going to have to like temper it pretty strong. Pretty severely. Because it is electrically yellow. I definitely want to use the fluorescent paints on when I get to Nightwing for the Escarmutons. Usually white, but glow yellow. Okay, yeah, so perfect. So what I'll do is I'll paint them yellow, and then I will go back with the white and go over them. You get the odd red or green in there. Yeah, exactly. Like that was kind of where my question was coming from. Is like there was some voice in the back of my head that says sometimes I feel like they're green. It definitely seems like a Van Sciver thing. Imagine caring. Sounds like work. So I'm really hoping for one more decently warm day before it gets really cold here. Haven't had it so far, but I need... I really want to get the Fantastic Four primed. And holy moly, have you seen the C27 lists lately, Broody?
I've been keeping up with what you guys have been posting some.
There are some really good ones coming out.
I was excited about the Miss Marvel.
Yes, that one especially. It's like, I held out. I was like, I could convert the Carol that I have, or I could just wait. And I think faith rewarded on this one. Because I'm incredibly unmotivated to paint Carol in her doofus costume. But this I am very motivated by. Alright. Got that done. Leader, Mole Man, Marrow, yeah. I really would like to see the Daughters of the Dragon come out. Like I was really excited when they were leading the votes last month, and then last minute they got they just got snubbed. That made me sad. I really hope they get in next month. I can honestly, like, there's enough highly regarded female characters that they could just do a girl power month, and I would have no problem with it. Marrow, for example, wasn't even in the voting. She just came out of nowhere. So, all right, back to smaller brush times. Once again, these Gotham City Chronicles sculpts are just weird. I'll do this. Yeah, that's okay. Now I can see what I'm doing. Sometimes it just comes down to painting the tongue and you can see what you're doing. Yeah, exactly. I want to see the full Heroes for Hire. I don't know. We loaded up our I've loaded a few pictures of miniatures onto my Heroes for Hire greater than MCU Defenders. Hell yes. Oh, without a question. Absolutely. But yeah, I have my MCU Defenders on my digital photo frame, and I was like, man, it just feels wrong. Like, this isn't what I want to see here. I want to see Heroes for Hire. Oh, jeez. More paints that have been destroyed. There we go. I was talking with Kirk in between streams where I was doing tabletop mad science, and when I asked Kirk on his next stream how he felt, and he just said, I hate the fact that you're right. Oh, that's too. The brush is way too big. Let's try this one. There we go. Yeah, that's working. That's the way you do it. Guess the line is that ain't working. That's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. My daughter, by the way, loves Dire Straits. She's really into music, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Number one will forever be the fallout from watching Paint Dry episode 4. Wow. That's very specific, RPD, and I definitely don't remember it. Let's color shift. Floor. Wisebot got spam blocked. I forgot that even happens. Can you tell it's been a while?
And here we are.
Sick! So you're just doing straight base coat then, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like to get like just the brighter colors of
yes, I do remember
the animated series, just to mostly just stick with the base coats.
Yeah.
And then you get kind of that flat matte look.
Yeah.
Just do face.
Yeah, that really does look quite cool. Huh. Where's that needle thing that I had? Oh, I know where it is. Yeah, Clayface I could see being needing something else, some sort of punch up. All right, Grundy. Your eyes are about to get yellow. Just a little bit, though. I'm probably doing this way too early, but that's fine. Let's see if that was enough. 2 seconds. It was not. It was not. Oh, hi, Mark. One of the more fun issues with doing Rift Tracks builds is having to deal with not having a power source option for the audience is never told. Okay, good enough, I guess. If the Poison Ivy model is more animated, for Gotham City Chronicles? I mean, I can look it up. It's right behind the screen. It's actually within reach. No, it's not. What is that? Oh, that's my graphic. No, it's still within reach. Oh, for Augs. I have no idea. Yeah, I think that's correct. Is the Poison Ivy model Batman the Animated Series or NABR? I'm not sure what that is.
New Adventures of Batman and Robin.
Okay, yes, thank you.
I believe it's the Batman the Animated Series, more look.
This is a very disappointingly easy model. Alright, well, Null and Oil, I guess. If I can find it. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. It's been so long I don't remember where my paints are. Yeah, I think Gotham City Chronicles does have... I know they have 2 Harleys. I don't know if they have... Yeah, the GCC one will definitely get green skin. Null and Oil. This is... Jeez, Null and Oil is just straight up cheating. My God. This is unfair. I'm gonna zoom in. Oh shoot! Turn the camera the wrong way to start with. All right, take a look at how unfair this is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the hell? Still probably highlight it and, you know, put some metal on the belt buckle and stuff, but this is just big cheats mode. It was almost like Shocker. Like Shocker was just base coat, ink wash, done. There was no highlighting necessary on that model at all. This is almost to that level. Something like this is perfect for knocking off the rust. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. The other option for tonight was Cyclops, and he's also not particularly difficult, but and I haven't. This is not that I haven't painted at all since the baby was born. Adam and Shamali and I did a painting day off camera that was a lot of fun, and did a lot for knocking off the rust. And I painted a couple off street just on my own. I painted Omega Red, and someone else that I can't remember at the moment. That's ridiculous. Well, next up, base. Like, this has been a really boring, very gray mini. Who's next for you, Mike?
I'm working on Catwoman.
Oh,
Also,
cool.
lots of gray.
Yeah. We're having it's monochrome night on watching paint drying. You're right. No, I haven't done that. Oh, I do have to I have to figure out how to do Johnny Charisma. Oh man, you're absolutely right. I completely forgot about that RPD. Yeah, we gotta figure that out. Unfortunately, I'm out of Batman mooks. Man, that's gonna be tough. I probably did, but I mean that was months ago. Like, hold on. Was that Arkham Knight? Yeah, well. Yeah, it was Arkham Knight. What does he look like? Oh, yeah! That's right. So I just need a Joker mini, honestly. Huh. Yeah. Okay, I'm starting to have some ideas. Yeah, I can definitely do it, RPD. I mean, well, actually, let me do a quick Google search. Like, has somebody done an STL for that? Batman, Arkham Knight, Johnny Charisma, STL. Nope. 3D print. No, nobody seems to have done him. That's all right. We'll figure it out. I will get Johnny Charisma printed because he's a funny character and he deserves to have a mini. In the meantime, I need to slap some Mechanicus Standard Gray down. Let's see if I can find Mechanicus Standard Gray. Those are all. That's purple. Oh hell. Is it way up here in the corner? No. Yep, got it. Yeah. Rainbow Batman, I'm definitely doing. No, so all I need really is a Joker STL that I can mod a little bit, either physically or like preprint or post-print. Doesn't really make any difference. So, Gotham Knights, Broody.
Yes.
You are enjoying it, yes?
Oh my goodness, yes, I love it.
Okay. I'm waiting for it to be patched into Oblivion because I heard there's a lot of issues.
They've been doing some work already, and I've only done solo, which I know a lot of the problems come from the co-op playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like in terms of frame rates and crashing and stuff like that. So I haven't experienced a lot of that.
Okay.
I still get a little bit. There's still some bugs, and like I'll get caught on corners trying to walk around, or and things like that just sometimes happen.
Sure.
And I've had it crash like a handful of times for me, but
so from the perspective of someone trying to stream it, like I made the right call to stream God of War first, is what I'm hearing.
Probably, yeah. But they've done a decent amount of stuff patches already.
Nice. I'm still nevertheless excited about it. Like I bellyache and stuff for the sake of the podcast, but like it's at the end of the day, it's still Batman stuff, and I'm excited by that.
Yeah, and it's definitely like it is buggy, but it's still a good game.
Right on.
Despite that,
I do think at this point I'm more excited for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League because it takes place in the Arkhamverse.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, no, I am still very excited to play Gotham Knights. It comes down to a question now: which do I get to the table first, or which do I get to the console first? Gotham Knights or Midnight Suns?
Ah, yes.
Although at this rate, I mean, God of War is extremely slow going. I love it; it's great, and I wanted to play it yesterday, and something came up and I couldn't. But we'll be back at it on Wednesday and subsequently Friday. Now the Taskmaster's over. The Series 14 of Taskmaster is over. My Thursday nights are free, so I can play games again. Incidentally, for anybody on the fence about watching Taskmaster, Series 14 is so freaking funny. If you need a good laugh, go check out Taskmaster. It's all first 11 seasons are on YouTube. Thanks, man. Hopefully we'll see you next week, Adam.
See ya.
All right. Oh, you're out of town next week. Okay. Well, yeah. Dash fine. Dash fine. Okay. Little, what the heck is the brown ink called? Agrax Earthshade, that's what it's called.
Man, it has been a while.
What?
It has been a while. Can't remember that.
Yeah. Well, I don't use it quite as often on the Marvel minis.
Yeah.
Especially now that I'm doing like fancier bases. But the Batman minis, they all have exactly the same base, which gets incredibly boring, but it does make for ease of painting. There was a time when I considered doing the same thing that I did with the Gears minis, and that's put Astro Granite down. I say a lot of things about GW, but the Citadel texture paints are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh, Blink has redeemed kombucha time. It is kombucha time. Hydrate or dihydrate. Tonight we are drinking Lemonberry. Dave, we are getting dangerously close, my dude. Either, sponsor us, or I'm going to start making my own kombucha, and it's going to be nasty. No, fire Ed from Explosions. Ed from Explosions needs to be stuffed in a cannon.
He would like that.
You're right. Stuffed in a. What's exactly the opposite of an explosion? Implosion? He'd probably like that too. He's probably got a twin brother or a cousin called Ivan
Isaac
from
from
Implosion. Isaac from Implosions, yeah. All right, let's get some highlights on this dude. We'll put him to bed. All right, let's start with the white. Use this. No, not white score. White score? White scar. Not Pallid Witch Flesh. Maybe Pallid Witch Flesh. Ulthwing Gray, that's what I'm looking for. Yes. Go to bed, this guy. It's Solomon Grundy, Blake. It's almost a Sunday. He was buried on Sunday. All right. What the hell? Okay. Oh, this is the fun part.
What's that?
Edge highlighting.
Mm-hmm.
Someone hired Edgar from Edges on this shirt. Not to be confused with Ed from Explosions. They're two different people. So I have been continuing my playthrough of Mass Effect, and God, I've forgotten how much I love that game.
Good game.
I'm most of the way through Mass Effect 2 right now. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to... Once I finish Mass Effect 3, which obviously will happen on stream sooner or later, whether I move on to Andromeda or...
Just ignore it.
Yeah. I've never played it, and it would make for good Mass Effect Monday content. So I do own it. Yes, yeah. I did once you said the rant RPD, I was like, oh, I know what he's talking about. I have played enough to know the gameplay, Captain Kirk. I actually beta tested it, or beta tested multiplayer, and our feedback was like, okay, this is fine. Like, but yeah, the gameplay is very tight in Andromeda. Oh, hi Twitch. No good, don't want that.
Oh.
What's wrong?
One thing I'd like to say, circling back to Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
So it's the same company that made Arkham Origins.
Right.
So you know how like Arkham Origins had like a really nice like it like good tight story and everything, but it was just kind of buggy.
Yes.
Like this is kind of the same thing. The writing and acting and everything else is very, very good.
Okay.
Like the characters are like pretty spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like flawed graphically and mechanically a little bit, but they're working on that still.
See, that's so bizarre to me, because Rocksteady, that makes the other Arkham games, has almost taken an inverse approach to that, other than the fact that they got Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. By the way, Kevin Conroy, pour one out for one's homies. Like, rest in peace, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like, so I had the pleasure of working with him at Comic-Con one year, and he was one of the coolest dudes ever. But yeah, it just seems like they were like, okay, we've got a decent plot, but it's like pretty linear and makes perfect sense, and the gameplay is super tight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just odd that wasn't communicated in teams that are operating in largely the same game space. Yeah. Okay. Back to that Finrasian. No, I don't want to do that. Maybe I do. What else do I have? That's too blue. Would help if I was actually looking at my reference image. Yeah, alright. I'm going to mix some dinge with blue here. No, Altiok blue will work. This is Skaven Blight Dinge, Altiok blue. Probably about 50-50. Let's see what I can do. Oh, did you see did I show you these little crates that I printed?
Hmm? Yes,
little,
you did show me
little
those.
crates. Yeah. They were fun. Little test to see how detailed the FDM printer could go. It's Shield and Hydra logos on them. I love, printing tiny things on the FDM printer just to see how fast and how detailed it can go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to be very detailed, but I've been pleasantly surprised. Sounds like we're approaching the end of the Super Metroid soundtrack here. Yep, this is the credits. Incidentally, one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. Captain Kirk, it was you the other day that was you and I were talking about Prime, Metroid Prime, or was it Take Walker? I can't remember. Yeah. Talk about games with a good soundtrack. I'm quite sure. Like, there's not many games in general that I can just listen to on repeat, but Metroid Prime. Oh, really? That's awesome. I still have yet to play any of them. Like, I've watched them many, many times, so I know what happens, but I never had any of the consoles that the Prime games were on, which is truly unfortunate. And if they come out on Switch, you can bet your bottom dollar I will be probably playing them off stream, I'll be honest. Metroid games I do tend to enjoy more if I just play them myself. Mike, you played Dread, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the only Metroid game I've played other than Prime 1.
Yeah. I love Dread. I've been sorely tempted lately because I'm seeing all my like Facebook memories coming back from when I got Dread. I've been sorely tempted to play Dread again. I gotta say my favorite is Super Captain Kirk because it's the first one that I played. Is Echoes is Prime 2? Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the one I've seen the most. And yeah, similarly, it is absolutely phenomenal. The soundtrack is freaking bomb. I got Mega Man X4 now.
Yay! My favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm working my way through Mega Man 7 right now. I'm stuck on the skull boss. Absolutely driving me bonkers. But also I haven't had a whole lot of time to like sit and work on it. Every time I pick up my Switch, I'm like, no. Eyes not being open. I believe that is on the record, RPD, yeah. I mean, coming from the guy with 2 Mega Man tattoos and a Metroid tattoo, I think it's pretty obvious what my top 2 Nintendo franchises are. Despite Mega Man not being exclusively Nintendo. Yeah, the X4 soundtrack is awesome also. They just don't make video game music the way they do, but there's a lack of video game music the way it used to be. So I modded that Game Boy for my niece.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
It came out so well that I actually ended up ordering more replacement parts to make it even better.
Nice.
I ordered basically replacement stickers for it. I was like, if the rest of this Game Boy is gonna look fly AF, I gotta fix these busted up stickers. Like, they just diminish the quality so badly. Oops. Oh, edge highlighting, I hate you so bad. Oh, I mentioned my the digital photo frame earlier. We were it's been sitting on our couch probably since last Christmas, I think. Just waiting to be set up because I couldn't be arsed. Finally, my mom said, if you don't set it up, I'm going to set it up for you, and I'm going to load pictures that you don't want. I'm like, fine. So I loaded up all kinds of, like, I loaded the ice cream party picture of all of us lying around, and Adam looking incredibly guilty.
Yeah, it was very sad that not being able to go to PAX Unplugged this year.
Yeah, it felt a little weird. But I gotta be honest, the timing couldn't be worse. Like, PAX just, like, they really don't have a clue what the right times to do their various conventions are. Like, PAX Unplugged should be where PAX East is in the school year, or in the calendar year.
In February?
Yeah.
Any particular reason?
Because Boston in February is stupid, and Philadelphia is, like, marginally better.
Ah.
Like, in Philly, it's rainy at that point and kind of gross. In Boston, it could be, like, brutal cold, or it could be, 70 degrees and sunny. You basically have to pack your entire wardrobe to go to a convention in Boston in February. And I mean, I have the distinct advantage of living close enough that I could just drive home. But most people don't have that.
No.
Almost done with this edge highlighting. And I can move on to the next one. Got like one more pant leg. Did you watch Andor?
Yes, and I loved it. Oh my goodness.
I've heard a lot of really good things. Like, my cousin hates it, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? I've watched the first episode. That's it. That's all I've had time for so far, and I'm like, this show is phenomenal.
It is great. And I have a few friends that have also hated on it. I'm just like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Are we watching the same program, right? Like,
yeah.
It feels... Donald Faison on the Scrubs podcast put it really well. He was like, this is Star Wars for grown-ups. And, like, as we discussed at the top of the show, scum and villainy, like the crawling around, sneaking around, spy stuff, that's my jam in Star Wars. If anything, I prefer like pilots and stuff, but if I can't have that, then I will happily take spies and that sort of stuff. Try a little bit of dry brushing here as much as I Blink says Andor gets dull in the middle. Normally I don't love dry brushing, but on larger areas like this, on some of the raised areas, his knees and stuff like that, I can see dry brushing making sense. To kind of just bring it all together a little bit. Okay, that'll do. All right, I think we're down to the last little bit here. Deck that dungeon. Punch it right in the face, Blink. Oh, I need to check that. All right.
Okay.
Oh, I need to check and see something that we have in the drive, but I'll do that later. I'll try it. Burp. Yes, perfect. Okay, cool. So painting Solomon Grundy reminds me of an SCRPG character that our buddy Sammy came up with.
Mm-hmm.
Gray, who I think you are aware of, but chat may not be. Gray was he was designed to be the grossest character we could come up with. He is a failed gene binding experiment that Grand Warlord Voss cast out and then was replaced, or the remains of which were picked up by Biomancer and utilized for things. But that failed too. Because the combining of the two processes basically reanimated the tissue.
Mm-hmm. And then he became a hero?
Pretty much. bringing it back to Facebook memories. I'm seeing all the memories of the SCRPG game that Greg and Jacqueline and I played with Braithwaite.
Yeah.
God, that was a fun campaign. Kind of left hanging too. We didn't finish it, as I guess happens with a lot of RPG campaigns.
Yeah.
I have, I think, come to the decision that I will no longer be playing D&D though. And the reason for that is no ill will toward D&D. I absolutely adore it, but there are other systems that I want to try.
Mm-hmm.
And if given the opportunity, I'd rather try something new than do something I've known for my entire life.
That is perfectly reasonable.
Alright, I'm going to try a thing real quick. This is going to be highly experimental, I think. I need... yeah, this one. This is Sybarite green. This is like one of my brightest greens, but I'm going to use it as a very, very, very light dry brush on his skin.
Mm-hmm.
No, but the bottom line is, RPD, like, we do respect D&D. Just because it's not the system we want to be playing anymore doesn't make it a bad game. Just not where we're at. Oh, that's still too much. That'll work. That might be even too much. Yep, I think that worked.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, that looks cool. Alright, a little bit of more work in his eyes, and I think we're good to go. I'm going to test this in the blacklight real quick. I'll be right back.
Hurt yourself.
No, only you heard that. That was me smacking the mic on the door. Yeah, his eyes look sick under the blacklight. I wish I could show that, but unfortunately I don't have a blacklight bulb for my camera. It'd be cool if I did. You'll just have to take my word for it. I love doing sort of inverted eyes, like the dark black circles around.
Hmm?
Really thought we could have a heartwarming Christmas spirit type moment, but here we go again. Its failures make it a bad game, most notably its inability to handle non-combat situations. Captain Kirk, I can respect that statement because quite often my group will default to Sentinel style gameplay for social situations. Once we learned how to be better role players by playing Call of Cthulhu and Sentinels, we'd often adopt systems from those games to create those narrative situations. So I can respect that standpoint. All right. Dry brush the base. Move on. Burp.
Bless you.
Thanks. Yes, it was this one. Okay. Marvel as I try to remember which dry paint I used to dry brush the bases. The most haphazard of painting. All right. With that, that is Solomon Grundy. Done. I am not disappointed by that.
He looks really good.
Thank you. I guess we're going to jump on Cyclops with the last half hour we've got. Continue working on him next week. Now, one of the big hang-ups with Cyclops is he's very easily decapitated. As I've magnetized his head. So I'm going to have to paint 2 bits. Let's get some Cyclops reference art here. Oh, what is... Sorry, I've got to figure out where this version of Grundy came from. have no idea. Great. Very helpful, Internet. Thank you. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. Found it. Ish. What SCRPG power would you connect with the capacity for interdimensional travel to? Hold on that one, RPD. Guess I just need X-Men number 1. Volume 1, number 1. Because he is one of the OGs. Unfortunately, not in this costume. Because Atomic Mass Games doesn't know what they're doing. So... RPD, I have just the tool for that. If I can find it. Currently reaching under my green screen, which looks a little bit awkward on camera, but there we go. And it's this. I have the book. It's right next to me. Powers, yes? Since I'm in between things, I'm helping you out a little bit more here. So, interdimensional travel. Do you have a category? Because, like, cosmic? Teleportation? Yeah, it's probably one of those two. You're using Supernatural. Wait, isn't Supernatural a... Okay. Yeah, so either of those would work. I got it. It's page 56. Like, I can see... presence? I can see that. I know that's not exactly what it means, but you can flavor it that way. Mobility, psychic, or self-control. Like, teleportation works. I would go with teleportation, honestly, RPD. That's my suggestion. Alright. This one is X-Men Blue. Calidor Sky. No, that totally makes sense. RPD, don't forget, my sort of affiliation with Santa Claus mythos is very similar to, or is very aligned with, like, the Finnish, you know, he lives in Rovaniemi thing. Bugger the North Pole. Scientifically, that doesn't make any sense. If you ask any one of my students, they will tell you Santa Claus lives in Finland. I think that blue might be too bright, which is a very strange thing to say. Mike, what do you think here? Oh, that's Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
Is that blue too bright?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Okay, bummer. Guess we'll go to Cantor blue. Oh, that's too dark. Maybe? No, that'll work. Although, what if I mix the two? Oh, what does McCrag blue look like? No, McCrag blue is almost a purple. Although, ooh. I'm gonna try McCrag blue. Ball so hard. I'm more of a belief system of a blue Golden Age Blue Beetle. Just do whatever nonsense you feel approach. Yeah, that's fair. Can respect. I have RPD. Remind me. This is because it's a longer story. Remind me next week. I'll tell the story of how my brother ruined Christmas and why I choose to believe that Santa Claus comes from Robinemi. It's good. It's kind of a nice story. I'm fond of it. Ah, yes, much better. Golden Age Blue Beetle is a trip. Yeah, that's true. Brush too wet. Whoa, brush way too wet. Brush still too wet. So Adam and Shamali and I all got that Marvel Zombies game. What are your feelings on it? Or were you paying attention to that?
I have no idea. I haven't played it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. It's Zombicide, but with Marvel characters.
Yeah.
And we got all really excited about it, and some of the minis in it are fantastic. Some of the characters in it haven't been released for Crisis Protocol, and likely won't be because they're not actual characters. They're just like bystanders and stuff. And so I'm a little bent out of shape right now because the scale is different.
Different than what?
Different than MCP. It's AUG scale.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, on the one hand, the whole reason we started buying Marvel minis was to play AUGs. But on the other hand, I really love painting this Crisis Protocol scale.
Yeah, I really like the Crisis Protocol scale, the 40mm.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the new Star Wars ones that they're coming out with.
They look beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, shout out Atomic Mass Games. Like, their sculpts are gorgeous, most of them. Their just ability to pick characters sucks. Case in point, we still don't have a Nightcrawler. He's... I don't know. I mean, I like to think that he's one of the more popular mutants because he's one of my favorites, but like I could be wrong.
No, I definitely would say like he's very frequently in the top 5. Like if people list him, he's usually in there.
Yeah, I mean, how cool is that? German guy who, well, bamfs. There's, as I sit here, go ahead.
Sorry. I remember when Alan Cumming was in X-Men 2.
Yeah.
And like that was all anyone ever talked about. Like,
yeah, because his performance was fantastic, and the character is just damn cool.
Yeah.
And what a casting choice too. I mean, Alan Cumming, like, Jesus, that guy's awesome.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, Jim Boy. Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Very careful. He's got that seam on his pants.
Yes. Yeah, I think
Very.
that's actually just a mold line.
Oh, is it? Okay. Running right up the front of his pant leg?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right in the picture.
Okay. I was gonna say, because it looks like an intentional seam. I would almost just very, very intentionally drip Agrax Earthshade down that seam. But if it's just a mold line, as you say, then don't bother.
Yeah.
Jim Gordon, the unsung hero of the Batman comics.
Yep.
Along with Alfred the Butler. Did you get an Alfred the Butler? Is there an Alfred the Butler mini?
Yes, I think so.
That's fantastic.
Maybe. I'd have to check.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Holy inferiority complex, Batman! How low is my self-esteem that I'd be the sidekick in my own fantasy? It could be worse, Robin. You could be Alfred the Butler. Damn you, sir. Figure out what color these armor bits are. They're probably just blue, but I don't want to make that mistake. I think one of the problems that Atomic Mass Games runs into is they don't have the level of respect for the property that the independent sculptors do.
Mm-hmm.
So they seem to make these odd decisions. Like, I understand that they're, as much as I don't get it, they're fans of Honey Badger, but like, she should not be out before Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I was watching was it Spider-Man? No, it was Doctor Strange. I was watching Doctor Strange with my friend Emily, who is like, she's a great person, love her to pieces, but she is absolutely quite overbearing sometimes, and quite a lot to deal with. And she and I were discussing like our various sensibilities with regard to comics. I think my comic book sensibility tends to be kind of stuck in the 90s. Like, I just want the 90s back. And I think that stands for a lot of us around Adam's Discord. But when you think about it, creators have had a really hard time creating new characters that stick lately. And I don't have an answer as to why that is. I wish I did. I probably wouldn't be teaching. If I did, I'd probably be writing comics. But, you know, it's upsetting.
Often surprising which ones do stick.
Right.
If they do.
Yeah.
Like Damien. Oh my god. I wish he would just go away.
I hate Damien. He's the worst. And at the time, like, I was reading all the comics. I was like, this is really good. His arc with Dick Grayson as Batman was really solid because it acknowledged the fact, and this is the only credit I can give to Grant Morrison ever. He created Damien, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
He knew what he was doing with that character. Damien was supposed to go through this learning and growing arc with Dick, and then they just kind of ignored that afterward and turned him back into a sniveling, whiny child.
Yeah.
I don't tend to care much for Grant Morrison stuff, but at the time, you know, it was a comic about Dick Grayson. Of course, I'm going to read it. So it's monumentally frustrating, really. I think we can all agree the best Robin is Tim Drake.
Yeah.
The best character is, you know, full character arc is Dick Grayson. And Jason Todd is awesome. And that's okay. I'm leaving out Stephanie and Carrie and, you know, anybody else who's briefly been Robin. But all things being equal, there is only a handful of Robins, and Damien should not be ever even mentioned in the same sentence as the rest of them.
No.
Well. Boy, I hope this looks better when I get some yellow and red on it, because good God. I'm not enjoying this sculpt. I'm more for either the turn of the millennium, or if I'm being stupid, the golden age. Silver Age, man. I mean,
Silver Age is where it's at.
Silver Age is the best. I mean, you think about the stories that came out in the Silver Age. They were so wacky. It was whatever. Nobody cared.
And even then, some of them were also really, like, solid and serious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you had both existing at the same time.
Right. Oh, man. And, you know, the other problem that we're facing these days is the whole AI art thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is equally scary on a whole nother level. But I do believe that's a conversation for another day. So, let's show off what we got here before we wrap up. Solomon Grundy one last time. Finished end to end, one stream, loving it all day long. And then we got Dick, along with Catwoman and Commissioner Gordon. Now, again, Broodies are going to be a little bit faster while he works on the animated series stuff, because he is just doing flat colors, which is absolutely the right call. I'm still going the hyper detailed route, as we've seen over the last several months. It's good to be back, man. Like, holy crap, 4 months is way too long.
Yeah, I think in between then and now, like, I've painted 2 minis.
Yeah, right? Like, maybe 3, I think. Here, I could honestly go back. I could tell you. I know I did Omega Red. I did... Oh, I did Two-Face. That one came out well. Oh, I did Groot. Because Groot is just stupidly easy. Gray.
Yeah.
Done. I honestly probably could have done it with an airbrush and done it quicker. But I don't have an airbrush.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I did Batman and Batgirl from AGS.
So I had this theory when I started out with the Gotham City Chronicles stuff. Is like I'm gonna do all the villains first because like I want the heroes to look as good as possible. But now I'm just like I don't wanna. Like I'm so burnt out on I was until I started until basically I burnt myself out on Marvel to deliberately alleviate that. But now I'm just like, all right, well, now I want to do DC stuff again. So I guess that's kind of nice. But yeah, I gotta get to the point where I can do the heroes. Anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out tonight. This has been a blast. We're so happy to be back. Mike, thank you again for doing this for so long and for being so patient with me over the last 4 months. I'm so excited to bring this show back. We'll bring Arkham back as soon as we can, but and that's, I mean, it's not going to be for a while. I am enjoying playing games a whole bunch. Coming up on the show this week, we got Mass Effect Monday. I'll be working through Mass Effect 2. We've got God of War on Wednesday and again on Friday, and then Mike and I will be back here hanging out, painting more stuff. I'll be working on Cyclops because I guarantee I won't get time to do them during the week. And I'm sure Mike will have some cool stuff as well. I'm also hoping to get General Rom primed so I can paint him and get him put away as well. So take care, everyone. Have a great night and a great end of your weekend. And we'll talk to you real soon. Bye.
See ya.